Hello, fight fans. Welcome to another episode of More Than a Fight podcast. This is a special segment we just started. We'd like to call it the Weigh-in. I am your host, Jose Alfredo Alcázar, and this is your co-host.
Juan?
And behind the cameras we have
John.
And the purpose behind this segment, called the Weigh-in, is basically for everybody, the fans, and of course us. We're gonna weigh in on a subject. In this case, the huge, I don't know if catastrophe is the right word, but the huge mess that has come about with the whole Conor Benn, Chris Eubank thing. The fight was supposed to take place Saturday in the UK or in England, O2 Arena, and it fell apart as of Wednesday, or it began to fall apart as of Wednesday morning our time. I got news early, Vegas time. I think I woke up around like 6 and change, taking my kids to school, and I happened to check on I think it was YouTube was where I first saw it, about Conor Benn testing positive for a substance. At the time I wasn't sure what it was. Juan, when did you find out about it?
Same time. Well, I woke up a little after, like 7, but yeah. I saw and, well, from what I got, it was kind of bothersome because they knew about it for a while, so they were obviously trying to get going, or not let it out, but it always comes out.
That was the most bizarre part. Or John, when did you find out about it?
So yeah, same thing when I woke up.
Yeah.
Like
it was
10.
all over the place.
But all the details started trickling out little by little. It was very weird at first.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, so that's really where you have to set up a timeline of
Mhm.
like what's happening here. So yeah, so Tuesday we find out through the Daily Mail. Daily Mail was the first one to release the article. Okay. And comes back that he's tested positive with VADA,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
But he's okay with UKAD. So this is the British
Anti-doping.
UKAD is the United Kingdom anti-doping,
Yes.
which is sanctioned by the BBBOC, the British Boxing Control Board.
Yes.
And so that was the whole argument, right?
Well, the other part was, which drove me insane every time I would hear, and I think it was Hearn that was really saying it more than anybody, was that UKAD does not recognize VADA.
Yeah.
So therefore, he was trying to say, well, if the UKAD says he's clean, then whatever VADA says is null and void, which
Right.
made no sense to me.
So yeah, so we'll talk about it now. So
Mhm.
the story was leaked to the Daily Mail that the VADA test was, positive. So now when did they find out?
The B sample not been tested yet?
Because just a timing issue.
Timing
was the
issue,
test?
right?
Yes.
We're talking about a couple of weeks ago. So
How long does it take for a B
And
sample to
that
be
was
put through?
the most
depends on
confusing
once you
part.
hear the reasons why
Seems
that
like it was
opening
almost a month ago when
was
they found
required
out,
by
right?
science.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So it is crazy that they've known for a couple of weeks, and if we keep going through, we just mute audio. Is that he even talks about? Okay, so here is his explanation.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger issue here, Rob, is, in all honesty, is the technicality of VADA versus UKAD. British Boxing Board of Control do not acknowledge
Yeah, right there where he says
VADA
they don't
testing.
acknowledge
We had
it.
a very similar situation with Billy Joe Saunders, where he had an adverse finding on his VADA test.
What are you saying? He's
Massachusetts
just gonna
banned
go with
him. The
whoever
British
says
Boxing Board of
it's
Control
okay to
said
go
his
with,
UKAD
'cause if it
test was
would've been the
clear.
other way,
We do not acknowledge VADA.
It's just all messed up.
They need to
Yeah.
make a decision what they want to do. If they
I'm
don't
glad it didn't go
suspend
through
him, which they
because
haven't and can't,
what was a lot of other people said if it would have gone through and someone, let's say Chris Eubank did get hurt, boxing would have been in trouble.
Well, the part that confuses me the most about this situation, because at first I was trying to compare it to Valdez and Conte when they fought, but then when you get more details, you realize you can't compare it to that, for the simple fact that both sides didn't have a month in advance, knowing that this test was going to come out, was going to come to light.
Like few weeks. Yeah.
Because when Valdez found out about it, Consexal found out about it, but it wasn't like both camps already knew 30 days prior and were trying to figure out how do we continue, how do we let this event go forward. And Valdez tested for a diuretic, and I can't remember the name of the diuretic, but yeah, he had claimed it was part of something within his tea. But anyway, with that situation, the reason I brought it up and compared it to this was because there was a similar issue. There, I believe it was VADA popped Valdez, but WADA, they use WADA as the scapegoat, saying that, well, what Valdez popped for on VADA's list is not on WADA's list. And for people who don't know what WADA is, that's the organization that Olympic testing uses. The World Anti-Doping Association is what WADA stands for. So when that happened, sounds exactly what Eddie Hearn was trying to do, was say, well, yes, VADA popped him, but we're going with UKAD and what they say. They're saying on their tests, what Conor Benn did for them, he's clean. Yeah. But VADA says he's not. And then that's the same thing that happened with Valdez. VADA said he's not clean. And then Bob Arum and whoever else was part of the team was saying, well, no, WADA says this is not on their banned list, so we're going to go with that. And that is a huge problem because you can't do that. You can't set that precedent. And they did actually. They did set that precedent because then it was used in this situation by Eddie Hearn and how do you pronounce his last name? Cale Soderlund?
Soderlund, yeah.
But it was even before that with Canelo. But remember when Canelo tested positive, and then right after that, like 4 other Mexican fighters tested positive. The WBC changed their rules on that. Whatever. Here, I'll find it.
It was clenbuterol.
So they were saying that meat was tainted in Mexico.
Yeah.
So,
but Canelo ended up getting suspended. That's the biggest difference. Eddie Hearn's claiming that Conor Benn has not been suspended, and it sounds like he won't be suspended.
Oh no,
they want to make the fight again in November.
And he took a drug called clomiphene, I believe is how it's pronounced, a fertility drug.
Yeah, so it's for women. I guess it's to mask other stuff.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. It's used as a masking agent. Is what the word is.
Well, no. What it is that after you're done with your cycle, you have to use that to kick your natural testosterone back into gear.
Right.
Does that make sense?
That's what Conor Benn used?
Yeah, so that's why they're like, oh, no, he was definitely...
So he was on TRT then?
Yeah, he was definitely on something where he was finishing his cycle, and he had to take that to kick it back into gear.
Got you. I'm going to do that then. I'm not
exactly.
tested, so I'm going to do that.
I'm taking notes all the time.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Oh, man, but...
I'm going to get buff in like 3 months.
No matter what, right? The whole point being is he took something.
Yeah.
Well, okay. We are assuming here, right? Because the B sample has never been tested yet, which is weird. But if you go back through history, a lot of fighters never got their B sample tested. And they just ran with it kind of thing. I don't know how else to say it. But I think the issue you're running into is that it's ubiquitous. It's just people aren't getting caught.
Yeah, the thing that pisses me off more, like I said, I think that this now it's we're using VADA, but then when something happens, when somebody gets popped, then they quickly shift to, well, the UKAD or WADA, they don't say it's banned or they say he's clean, and it's like, wait a minute, what are we doing? What are we doing, and what precedent is being set for the sport, and how much more is this hurting the sport as if it wasn't hurting enough right now?
But that was the exact same argument Eddie Hearn used with Jarrell Miller, but just
the
reversed.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now Hearn is getting scorched on social media without a doubt.
Well, he's a promoter. What else do you want from him?
He's trying to make money too, and he's trying to get his guys paid. So
and
whatever is to his advantage.
I don't know how much money they lost, but I'm sure they lost a good amount of money.
Well, I mean, what? You have 9 other fights on the card? They
Yeah,
got canceled.
man. And that's what sucks the most is that all these other fighters, their fights couldn't go on
Yeah.
because the cash cow was the main event. And so if the main event's not going on, then they're not going to be able to generate the money to pay the other fighters, is what I'm guessing was the issue. And that's why they canceled the entire card.
But I thought that was the whole point of when they bid for the purse. Was that it's finished. This is how much. This is the total amount that everybody's getting paid.
I'm not sure about that.
Well, this
Oh,
card
okay.
didn't go to purse. This didn't go to purse bid.
Oh, okay.
You know, they only go to purse bid when both sides can't seem to agree on a figure for what the event is worth or what they want to invest in the event. So this one didn't have any of that. What I'm pretty sure was the case is the main event pays for the undercard because they're going to generate ticket sales, they're going to generate pay-per-view sales, and that's how we pay the undercard fighters. Obviously, if you don't have a main event, how are you going to generate the money that you promised the undercard fighters? And that's what sucks because Lyndon Arthur was one of the most outspoken on a couple social media sites or YouTube
He was
interviews,
telling everybody you would interview him.
saying he was pissed off about the fact that he couldn't fight and he couldn't get paid. And I'm sure he wasn't the only fighter that felt that way.
No, he was just the most outspoken one.
Yeah, but my biggest thing is what happens and what is the solution? Because I think the only solution to fixing this problem is you need government oversight. And I don't know if that's going to ever happen in boxing.
No,
Because if you don't have somebody overseeing the sport, which happens, I don't even know how it works sometimes.
Well, look.
Because baseball got that treatment with the PED situation when there was a bunch of home runs and everybody was going crazy, hitting the ball out. And then they got called before Congress here in the United States. And I don't know how that worked other than senators liked baseball. And I believe George Bush owned the Texas Rangers and maybe somehow that ties into them getting pulled to Congress or I don't know.
no.
But with boxing, I just don't see how you can get the government involved, whether it's here or in the UK.
Well, look at Olympics. You get government involved with that, and the PD, like Russia got banned from the Olympics. It's going to happen anywhere in professional sport. You know what I mean? Because they're going to look for every edge.
Yeah, there's athletes that say everyone cheats anyways. They just don't get caught. So I don't know how true
Not
that
even
is.
like, okay, not even saying cheating by PEDs, but like a little extra shot after the bell. Like those little things, they're looking for that edge.
Yeah,
And some people think they have to take drugs.
Yeah, the thing here that would have bothered me the most had this event gone forward is not only would it have just tarnished the rest of the year, but it would have also said to everybody else is money is what matters. I don't give a damn if you pop positive. This event was going to generate millions of dollars, and that's what mattered. Because Eddie Hearn on Wednesday was saying, we'll find another governing body to sanction this. And that's insane that he was even proposing that. Because then again, you're setting a dangerous precedent saying, okay, well, if they're not going to sanction this fight, then I'll go find somebody who will.
Like Dana White did right there.
Oh,
And
did he?
yes,
Yeah.
This is UFC 232, John Jones, Gustafsson rematch. He popped on like, what was it? Monday, Tuesday, USADA comes along and says, you've gone over the limit. And the Nevada Commission said, we don't have enough time to investigate this claim, so we can't sanction the fight.
Oh.
So Dana White was like, all right, we're going to Anaheim. And so he took the entire card to Anaheim on like a week notice. All the fighters flying into Vegas had to then fly to Anaheim and all sorts of stuff. And did it, pulled it off. And so, like, that's why I find it kind of crazy that all the people on boxing Twitter are like, this was almost the end of boxing. I'm like, take it easy. Like, a lot of people got popped, and they're still fighting. You know, Canelo. You have, hold on.
Well, Conor Benn's going to fight in November. I don't know. Oh, yeah.
November, December.
They said November?
Take your punishment and
No,
come back clean next.
I think that's just
I think they can do it December 17th
yeah.
because that's when supposedly they wanted Anthony Joshua to come back.
Right.
So they could do it then. And the other problem is if both fighters want to do it, they want to fight.
Yeah.
How can you stop it?
And I think what they're talking about the doctors is what they're going to try to say the same thing that they said about John Jones. It was just a little tiny bit. It would have no effect.
Like the levels.
Yeah, it would have no real
I
mean
remember
effect.
some of that. Like they were saying, well, the levels weren't that high, and it could have been because of this, could have been because of that.
Just a little pictogram, dude.
Yeah,
there
little
you go.
picogram.
That's what it was.
Yeah, pulsing the picogram, the terminal.
That's what it was.
John Jones says it's pictogram.
Yeah,
Pictogram.
Like, and that's why, like, even most recently was Luis Turney versus Yamasuke.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Was
Neri,
that
Neri? Sorry,
MMA?
Luis Neri. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Luis Neri
yeah.
versus Shishin.
Oh, that was in Japan. Yeah, that was like 3 years ago. He went over there and took the title, but they
He popped.
they took it back. Yeah, he popped after the fight, I think.
Yep. And so the ring, so it was for 2 belts, the ring and the WBC.
Mm-hmm.
The ring stripped them, and the WC ordered a rematch. And then came back and beat him again.
Yeah, he
but
beat him again. Yeah.
he missed weight by 3 pounds, so the belt was.
Oh, yeah, I remember now.
That's what it is. That's what.
But that
I
was like
remember
this
that now.
year.
No, it wasn't.
Yes.
Not when he popped. He popped like 3 years ago.
I don't know.
I remember watching it.
Oh, okay. But
He's fought like 4 fights since.
okay. But
Yeah,
okay.
man. It's such a difficult thing because now I don't even. I feel like the end of the year was looking good and potentially could have been great, but now this fight. Even if we get it in December or November or December, everybody's gonna. I don't know if it's gonna I don't think it's gonna sell at an arena anymore.
It's gonna sell.
Oh,
Unless
no,
the UK
100%.
fans are you like are accepting as like we are with baseball, like this year Fernando Tatis got popped. A lot of fans.
That's why I
Some
dislike
were
him.
surprised by it. Some weren't. Some
Go
were like,
Dodgers.
he'll
But
be
so-
suspended. He'll come back. He'll say this or that.
And I think that's why, like, it's okay. Yes, it is Conor Benn's fault that he tested positive, but in his head, he's like, everybody's doing it. You know what I mean? And like, so
Wait, Connor. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay,
No,
and
I was
even
thinking
bringing
somebody
up-
else. But I don't know what the hell.
even bringing up baseball. Remember in baseball, the guy they busted who was giving everybody the drugs in Florida.
I'm glad you said baseball. No, you're talking about Victor Conte,
Yeah.
who ironically now has Snack.
He's a nutritionist.
You
or
see a
something.
bunch of boxers actually wear his stuff.
Yeah.
You'll see it all over YouTube.
Yeah.
Snack. You're right, Victor Conte. But I'm glad you said baseball because Manny Ramirez, if there's any UK fans watching, and I hope we have some, he popped positive for a fertility drug as well, and it was he used it as a masking agent as well. I don't know if you remember because Manny Ramirez was a home
I
run
remember
hitter,
him, yeah.
won World Series with the Boston Red Sox, and he was taking some kind of fertility drug as well as a masking agent. I can't remember the name of the drug.
Yeah.
I know it wasn't clomiphene because that would have
Yeah.
popped
But that
back
was
up in my
that
head.
was why he retired.
Yeah, because he got popped. I think
it was
3
like his
times.
his third
was
time.
like 3
he was like,
times.
I'm out of here. I'm just gonna go.
He got popped once with the Red Sox, once with the Dodgers,
Oh.
or maybe twice with the Red Sox and once with the Dodgers.
But so okay, you have a guy. You think everybody else is doing it around you, right? And then you have like a guy like Victor Conte or like this guy. And so supposedly this is the doctor for Conor Benn. This is Dr. Usman Sajjad. He has a podcast. I didn't watch any of it. But yeah, he actually has a podcast. Supposedly he's a doctor for Tyson Fury, Conor Benn, Paddy the Baddy Pimblett, Joseph Parker, Molly Meatball McCann.
And
There's-
Tyson Fury popped positive
The
When was
Klitschko fight.
a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
It was the Klitschko fight he popped. That was right when he had all his issues. and so he was out of boxing for 2 years, and then when he got punished for it, they gave him 2 years retro, and so he could come right back to fighting.
Mm.
So yeah, like there's all these caveats that they made for these fighters, you know. But yeah, you can see him. Here he is,
Yeah.
Tommy Fury.
One of the best prospects in
Pat
boxing.
Cho's fucking getting some advice. Looks like it.
This guy-
But yeah,
Pat Cho's trying to get buff over there too, man.
yeah, Paddy the Baddy, Molly, Parker, Gorman, Conor Benn, Tyson,
Dang, man.
and you know,
The homie Joshua.
so you could see
Oh.
him, right? Being
Yeah.
a doctor who was like, or even, you know what I mean? Like getting sucked in, like, oh, I can help you guys out. Hey,
Right.
everybody's doing it. I work with all the other fighters, you know? But yeah,
Yeah, it's a mess, man. And like I said, I think the only way this gets fixed or policed is only if government gets involved. And I just don't see how
That'll never
no,
that would
no,
happen
no,
in
no.
boxing.
It's, government wouldn't work. What it really means, it really is keeping a set rules set. Like the rules apply the same for everybody, and that's the difference. They just don't. You know what I mean? And that's part of
Well,
life.
it's not even the rules; it's the money too, though. If
all
you
about the
have an
money.
event, and let's say
Well,
you're
that's what
going
I'm
to
saying.
generate, you have an event, and it's only going to generate $3 million. One of your fighters pops positive, okay, but then you have that same event, but it could generate $30 million. That's a whole different ball game for the promoters, for the fighters, everybody involved.
Why do you think Dana moved John Jones? It was the biggest
Yes.
event.
There you go.
You
See,
wouldn't have
that's
done
what
it for
I
a fight
mean.
night. That show would have been.
And see, that's
Done.
why I kind of find it funny from the MMA side is like all of you guys, everybody got so like, oh my god, this end of the boxing, and even the apologies, right?
Mhm.
Even the apologies were all like, oh, we're doing this for the good of boxing. You know, we could do it. We could.
They were trying to push it,
You
but I
know,
think
we could.
they thought about it. Well, I mean, they had a lot of people talking, and yeah, no, it
Yeah,
really makes
you know what I'm
sense.
saying? So like, it's such a different attitude because and yeah, in MMA, we look at it as like it happened. You got
But
busted.
that's a very interesting find. Great job on your part, dude, to find that out about that doctor because I had never heard of him and I never knew he had all those fighters. I
Well,
don't know
we
if he
don't know.
advises them or he works with them from a medical perspective. I don't know what exactly he does.
Just a friendly doctor everyone likes.
No, and it couldn't be just one of those guys who just tries to hang around the gym and be cool with the fighters. You know, that could be as harmless as that. But like the fact that he's completely deleting his entire internet presence is
Mm.
Yeah, I didn't know
strange.
that. When did you find that out about
Today.
him? Oh, he was doing it today?
Well, I found out about it today, but supposedly everything went down after the article came out
Mm.
on the 4th.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's crazy, you know.
I wonder what's going to happen to Conor Benn from the UK standpoint. Because honestly, in the US, he can come and fight in December, and probably the vast majority of the people won't really know unless people like Dan Rayfield, people like Keith Idec put it out there that he tested positive. But like some of the fans in the US might not even know or care. Like Conor Benn, who he popped positive.
The fans don't care.
I
wouldn't
don't
go
think
that far.
I don't think there's a certain
listen.
portion that don't.
Okay, so a couple of things. I did hear one of the fighters saying that like they had people from America flying in for this fight.
Yeah.
You know? And then so I think it was a big fight because of the history of it, you know, and then one thing that we missed was that Eubank Sr. was calling for a boycott for this fight before it even happened. And then they knew.
Maybe
Right?
that's the reason he was calling for it.
Yeah,
Who
I
knows?
think he definitely knew because why wouldn't his son tell him, but just say, don't say it publicly,
Mm.
but just know that this is what our team, the information our team got 30 days ago, and he told his dad in confidence, but his dad obviously didn't release all the information. So it's very possible that that's why Eubank Sr. was throwing this out there at such an early stage. He did it, what was it, 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, when he said, I'm pulling my son out of the fight. I don't want another son. I don't want another one of my children to die. And maybe that's when he found out via his son or via somebody in his son's camp. And they just said, hey, listen, don't say it out loud. But he just said, you know what? I'll use this as my reasoning for saying the following, for saying that I want to pull him out, is that I'm afraid that he's going to lose too much weight. But in reality, Chris Eubank Sr. knew that Conor Benn popped positive, but my son still wants to go through with the fight. And I think he shouldn't, and it's very dangerous if he does.
Yeah, so this is from 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that article, but that really came out like 3 weeks ago.
But
It
no,
was
when he said I'm pulling my son out of the fight, it was like 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, something to that effect.
Yeah, so I mean, that's what makes it so weird that they were like, well, let's just get paid, and that's both promoters, both fighters agreeing. Yeah,
It's all about the money. Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
exactly.
So
And
that's all it is.
that's why I think everybody needs to take a chill pill a bit. Be like, this is not the end. It's not the end of the world. It's just, it sucks. It happened. Boxing, Eddie Hearn was too pussy to go with it and go to like Luxembourg or they were saying like Malta or or Ireland. Like,
We'll get boxing in 2 weeks and we'll forget about it. No, this week. I forgot who fights. But
This is why I
Fundor's
keep
card
saying that-
looks even better now.
Yeah, the boxers need to come together and start their own union. They need to do something.
it ain't gonna happen, dude.
It's never gonna happen with fighters
It gets
because
paid
it's
too much. Stop. Like the big names are never gonna do it.
and
no.
it's individualistic sport. When it really comes down, there's no team fighting except in Russia.
I think some of the retired boxers need to do it. They need to lead the charge. People like Andre Ward,
That
Tim
ain't
Bradley,
happening.
guys like that need to lead the charge and say we need to create a union to protect fighters, not only from themselves but from shady promoters, from these types of situations where one fighter pops positive, but the promotional company says, well, no, this other outfit said they're clean and we still want to move forward. And then somebody can represent the fighter. And that way the fighter doesn't have to seem like they're the ones pulling out of the fight. They're saying, well, no, I have the boxing union representing me and they're going to speak for me. And they're saying I shouldn't fight. And this is why.
Yeah, that's too much.
But that's the problem. But they need to do something.
No.
They
This
do,
is
but
insane.
it's
It's
never
going to
gonna
happen
happen.
again. We're going to get another massive
course.
fight.
That's
A
why
fighter's
like,
going to pop positive.
It's always gonna happen.
And they're going to say, well, this other company said they're clean, even though this company said they're dirty. And then VADA needs to grow a pair of balls and say, you know what? If you guys are going to do this to us, then go fuck yourself. We're not going to test you guys for what? So you guys can turn around and tell us to go fuck ourselves when we are giving you the results of what we found. And now you want to say that, no, we're not going to go with what you found. We're going to go with what the
That's like every
UK
boxer ever.
anti-doping agency said.
yeah. So this
Doesn't
is
matter.
literally just page. This is doping cases in boxing on Wikipedia.
No shit.
And that's not even. Yeah, you can.
And
still
that's just
scroll.
what the ones, because when I was looking this up, like if you'll notice, Oscar Valdez is not on this fucking list. Oh, I missed it.
Where's the V? Oh yeah, you're right. Huh?
Right, because it was stripped from his Wikipedia, where he hasn't been added to this
Oh,
list.
Wikipedia.
Really?
He edited this page and took himself out. Stop.
Yeah,
We know you can do that.
I didn't know Roy Jones popped.
Of course,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Everyone
He's
did,
on there.
man.
dude, Evander
up.
Holyfield, Julio Chavez Jr., diuretics.
Kid Galahad.
Yeah, Kid Galahad, he got a
Yeah.
15-month. Tyson Fury.
I was reading about that one. There's a lot.
Look, Billy Joe
Romain
Saunders.
Stavern.
Billy Joe Saunders.
Brendan
in there.
Rios.
Tyrone Sponge.
Damn, man. Well, Tyrone Spahn. If you didn't know that just by looking at the guy.
Vitali.
Lucien Butte, Andre Berto.
Ricardo
Damn,
Mayorga.
dude.
Shane Mosley.
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Yeah, he's the best. I mean, he's very disciplined, but
Pernell Whitaker.
Yeah.
That's all. And then Povetkin.
Sweet Pea as well.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
So like James Toney, Antonio Tarver.
Tarver. Damn, you said Tarva, bro.
Tarver.
That threw me off.
Shannon Briggs, that one we knew.
Yeah, yeah.
Mickey Bay, wow. Well, no, many people know that, but I didn't know. But I think a lot of these guys, it's to lose weight. Not that some of them do it for other
Right.
reasons.
Dude, they all do it for other reasons. They mask it with losing weight stuff. Stop.
That's
No, but like, listen, it's just a road bump. It sucks. Definitely, it sucks.
It'll never
Sucks for the
stop
fighters.
either.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not gonna stop because just on that other side of me, getting through this fight camp, getting through the testing, is a bunch of money, celebration if I win. Well, that's
yeah, and I think Chris Eubank, that was part of his motivation to go along with it, because I'm sure Conor Benn and his team said, "Listen, if you go through with it, we'll give you X amount more,
yeah.
or we'll let you weigh in a little bit higher than what
Okay.
we agreed upon."
Okay, so we've been going for a bit.
A little
what
too
happened?
long.
What happens now? So we're saying delayed till November.
November, December, yeah. That's what they're going to do. They're just going to reschedule.
I think they'll do it on December 3rd, only because if Tyson Fury fights some bum, with all due respect to anybody he picks, do it that day, because nobody's going to care about the Tyson Fury fight. December
It's
3rd is
Tyson-
perfect, because Josh was supposed to fight December 17th. And
But
now, with those images we put up of that doctor with Joshua, who knows if they're going to come after his ass next.
No, but he wasn't Joshua's doctor. It's
Yeah, I know,
Tyson
but he was.
Fury.
He took a picture with him. Then that's
Yeah.
enough for people
Well, yeah.
to just.
Everybody says that fucking Joshua takes.
Well, he
But
is
yeah.
pretty chiseled.
Yeah, and he says it doesn't lift weight.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, it's kind of funny. I bring this up because Eubank does want to fight Jake Paul, and then also Jake Paul is like looking pretty good right now in boxing. Like,
Yeah, but Chris Eubanks, an active pro fighter who's fought top opposition. I think he would put Jake Paul to sleep.
yeah, that card for
Even
Jake
if
Paul,
Jake Paul was allowed to weigh in at 190.
Yeah.
And Eubank came in at, like, I don't know what, 170.
but that card's shaping up like Le'Veon Bell versus Uriah Hall.
I saw that.
That's gonna be a rough one. But yeah,
I saw
I
that.
think that's pretty good right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No,
Yeah.
we'll see what transpires moving forward. It sucks, and like I said, thank you guys. It's our first real, like, official weigh-in, and the graphics, awesome job, John. And tell us what you guys think. Please like, comment on this one, because we'd love to hear what you think. Subscribe and hit the bell notification button, and
Alright.
we'll catch you on the next one. And then, John.
All right, just bleed.